I have observed the way you work, and many people have known that the kind of energy you have is insane.
Okay.
You know? So where do you get the energy from? How do you get yourself to work the number of hours that you do?
Yeah, I just released a book that we're right now going to pre-order from Monday. That book is out for pre-order, but actually we can start the pre-order from tomorrow. It's going to be called Why You Must Urgently Become a Workaholic. So Why You Must Urgently Become a Workaholic is a book that contains in itself the reason and explanation why Pastor Sunday is working so hard and so much, and why everybody should work so hard and so much, and why everybody can work so hard and so effectively as well. So, I think that book, when it comes out, How to Urgently Become a Workaholic, I think that book will really answer a lot of these questions and open the eyes of a lot of people who are right now might be wondering how Pastor Sunday manages to work so much. But for the benefit of the people who have never been to Ukraine and who have not witnessed Pastor Sunday's work ethic, I think you might need to clarify your question, because they've never been here. So you have to, what prompted your question? And if it was prompted by what you saw, so what is it that you saw?
Okay.
And you have to paint them the picture of what is abnormal, because you said the work ethic is abnormal. So what is abnormal about it? Why is it that you see that is not common or that other people don't do? And what justifies that question?
Okay, let me say what I have observed and what most of you also know, that Dr. Sunday Adelaja is not single. That is number one. He has a wife and he has 3 kids. And I know that he creates a time in the day where he meets with the kids and teach them. And apart from that, he finds time daily to talk to almost everybody that wants to talk to him that day, to hug them if hug is needed, to tell them some encouraging words that will make them to keep on moving. And he still has time to come down every day. There's a section we call in the house, VIP section, where he meets guests, or anybody that comes in the house, to listen to them. And at the same time, he creates time to write all these books that you order. The books that he decided to write more than 1,000 books before he goes. And a lot of things, he has time to make phone calls. He's always available. He replies to all your mails, which is also very uncommon to me, because most big people that I know, they don't reply to mails. But he replies to, within 3 or less than days, you get replies to your mails. So, and anytime you call him, if you call him on Skype, if you have his personal contact and call him on Skype, he answers and he calls you back. Even, for example, the other day, I had a dream and I had to write my dream, and he called me back immediately and explained to me that the dream was for me. You understand what I mean? I love the humility, and I have seen the humility of taking his time, because I know how much his time costs, an hour of his time, to just call anybody that wants to connect with him. These are all the things, and I'm sure that I've not seen some, because there are a lot of things he also does in the private. Nobody prays like him. Nobody studies, does self-development like him. Even if he spends the whole day with you, he still has some, even if he's going to sleep less, some minimum 4 hours to spend on himself to develop his mind, because as he teaches us that without knowledge, you can't really understand the spiritual things. So these are all the things that I see that I wonder, where is the energy coming from?
Is it the energy or the time or the work ethic?
I would
There
really
are
say
many things you have touched on.
I would really say the time, because we all know that we all have 24 hours in a day. But you have recreated yourself in a way, or you have organized your life in a way that you touch all those aspects in a day. That most of us, maybe we'll do a little, say I'm tired, we go off and sleep. Talking about myself now, you know. But you are always awake. Even when you are tired, you know that this is what I plan to do today and I must finish it. That means there's some energy that pushes you to do that.
Okay, you mentioned some things though, some aspects. You started by saying Pastor Sunday is married, so you mentioned, and children, you mentioned family, then you mentioned what? Book writing, self-education, time for other people. Yeah. What are the other things you mentioned?
Praying.
Praying. Maybe doing programs like this.
Yes.
And things like that, training and teaching others. So, if you know, I like to approach the answer to that question by mentioning those different things that you mentioned, because I like to categorize things or departmentalize or what do you call them? Compartmentalize them. We have to put them in compartments, and then it's easier to be able to break things down and to be able to analyze and explain. So we all have 24 hours in a day. Out of that 24 hours, let's say most people spend up to 8 hours sleeping, but even if not for sleeping, but for different things, so, you know, related to the home. It's all about distributing and planning your time according to your priorities and according to what is important for you. A lot of people have time for different things that are absent in my life. So I think I have an advantage in the sense that, for example, I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, I don't watch films. If I watch films, it will only be documentaries or educational. So I've saved a lot of time that people use to do other things. Then I don't have time that I spend with friends or visiting. So all those things are removed from my life. So that conserves and saves me more time that other people spend on other things, frivolous things. And then we don't have things like, you know, partying, happy birthday, or what do you call it? You know, going out to visit, or restaurant, or cinema, or I don't go, you know. So my life, a lot of junks have been removed from my life. So the first thing to be effective, to have energy for what you do, or to find time for what you do, or to be able to do so much, is to first of all make sure that you, what do you call it? You crystallize your environment and your time. You crystallize it by, you know, flushing out all the things. You know, you do inventory of your life and of your time. And in that inventory, you make sure that the only thing that is left are the things that matter to your goals, or that are in the list of your priorities, life priorities. So all of that things, you intentionally eject them, separate them from your life, and intentionally eliminate them from your life. So I have intentionally eliminated a lot of things from my life. And those things that I've eliminated, they have created a lot of space for me to be able to do a lot of things that many people might still be spending their lives doing, and then they wonder why I'm able to do so much, because I've been able to eliminate a lot of time killers from my life that, you know, that are not there, that now give me the opportunity to be able to do what matters. So that's number one principle. Number two principle. So number one principle is eliminate all the excess luggage that on your time and on your life. Eliminate all the excessive things that are actually taking away your time and your life. Secondly, I determined to make life productive. So my life every day must produce tangible results. My time every day must always be converted. So since I know the importance of time conversion, so to me it's easy. It's just making everything count. Every day, every minute, every second. And for that to happen, you've got to practice and procure a skill that is called to be present here and now, to be in the here and now. And that's to live a conscious life. So since I'm living a conscious life like that, practicing to be here and now, so the only other thing that I need to do from there is to make sure that every minute and every hour is being converted. But since there are a lot of things that your time could be converted to, it's also important that this is the next principle, I determine what are the things that are important that I'll be converting that time of my life to on a daily basis. So I've determined I have 5 things that I think about. And these 5 things are the things that my life rotates around. So that's just what I do. So because I'm doing only those 5 things, and I'm doing them consistently, it shows, I mean, they are having so much result because I don't have other 2,500 things or 25 other things that other people are doing. So I'm not doing every other thing. I'm just doing just those particular 5 things. And that's why, I'm having so much result in them. And people might be wondering, they might want me to tell them what are the 5 things, but I don't think I will tell you now because I've thought about it. I think I've mentioned these things in my teachings. So go to YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, go to playlist and go through my teachings. One day you will run into the 5 things that Pastor Sunday thinks about. Continuing about how I find time for those things, I spoke about priority. So for me, my priority is my personal relationship with God on a daily basis. Number 1 priority. That one is ongoing, every day, no negotiation. My number 2 priority after that is my family, my wife and my children. So no negotiation. You have to find time for them every day. Then after that, those 5 things. And even those 2 things I mentioned, they are part of the 5 things. So that's it.